All right, coming back at you live again from the porch, another little porch chat, if you will. I spent the day with family. We did a celebration of life for my cousin, who unfortunately is no longer with us. But it was really good to be with friends and family and see people we just don't see very often. So I'm grateful for that opportunity. So tonight's topic, and I'm sitting outside under a beautiful moon, and I don't know if you can hear all the nightlife happening, but it's very lively out here this evening. So, but I wanted to share about a certain time of my life, and there was a season in my life where I didn't just pray in the mornings. Instead, I would pull a series of cards, and I don't talk about it too often, and not because I'm hiding it, but really, I just operate very differently now. And I did know Jesus as a child, in my youth, even as an adult, because because I was very familiar with the spirit realm from a very young age, I was deep into a completely different world and playing in both realms, if you will. And so, some things that people don't typically know about me, many do, many don't. But I trained in and studied shamanism. I held psychic readings. I read tarot and oracle cards. I used runes. I talked with spirits daily. I studied human design and gene keys. I actually created online courses and coaching to teach others how to do it, how to operate through those guidance sources. Um, and I had spiritual guidance. I was seeking alternative sources for meaning, and for something to tell me who I was and what I was supposed to do with it and when I was supposed to do it. And none of it ever felt evil. And that's the part that people get wrong when they imagine what New Age looks like. And New Age isn't even a term that people use unless they're on the outside looking in. And it felt spiritual. It was spiritual. It felt real because it was real. It felt like connection. I wasn't chasing darkness. I thought I was chasing light. And I thought I was tapping into the true universal source. And so, in the years that I was practicing, I manifested homes, cars, jobs, you name it. I was I was manifesting it. It was happening. I was calling it into existence. It was very real. And so when people say that that's not real, that psychic readings are not real, or spirits and things aren't real, it's not really true. It is real. And so here's what nobody really told me back then. Um, and there's a reason that counterfeit feels good. And counterfeit only works because it's copying something. And much like somebody can't just fake $100 bill by drawing, weird shapes on green paper, they copy something that's actually valuable. And once I remembered what my old practices were actually copying, I couldn't unsee it anymore. I couldn't unsee the counterfeit behind everything that I was doing. And it's not that I'm not ashamed of that season at all. I've never been ashamed of that season. God gave me that experience, something, excuse me. God gave me that experience and something that I witnessed, something that I knew was very real at 9 years old. And I'm going to unpack that for you later this week. But it's part of why none of this rattles me, the way it rattles people who know nothing about that lifestyle, right? That doesn't rattle me when it comes to deliverance and demons and spirits. I just see things very differently. And I can speak to people who are exactly where I was not from above them, not looking down at them, but from having actually been there. And I know what it feels like from the inside, the thrill, the chase of bringing something into reality. I can even remember having these conversations with my mom. And right, she was very cautious. She was very, I wouldn't say skeptical, but just very like, do you know what you're messing with kind of thing. And so later this week, I'm going to walk you through many different counterfeits that people can find themselves wrapped up in. Because if you've ever wondered if something in your life, something that feels spiritual, something that feels harmless, um, it's likely that it's actually something else. And I think this is going to enlighten you or at least arm you with some new perspectives to dive into and sit with. So definitely keep an eye out later this week for that new video drop. This lifestyle was one that I was deeply involved in. My kids were involved in, right? My whole house was benefiting from in some way. And so it's been an interesting journey to unwind all of that, to reel it back in for my family, and to help kind of guide them walk in the true light that is Jesus Christ. So stay tuned. I can't wait to share that with you. And there'll be a new video drop later this week. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you later.